She said it casually, between bites of avocado toast and laughter that didn't belong to me. Marriage, she told her friends, is just a piece of paper. The words slid off her tongue like truth she'd been dying to say. Her friends giggled, three perfect women sipping mimosas, nodding, clinking glasses, as if she'd just delivered wisdom instead of contempt. I didn't smile, didn't move, because in my pocket was another piece of paper, signed that morning. My hand rested against it through my jacket, its edges sharp enough to draw blood if I pressed too hard. She didn't notice. She never noticed. I waited until her laughter faded, until the silence between us started to breathe. Then I pulled it out and placed it on the table. "You're right," I said. "It means nothing." At first, she didn't understand. Then she saw the seal, the signature, the decree. Her friends went silent, the kind of silence that hums. And for the first time in years, she looked afraid. A month earlier, she'd stopped looking at me altogether, eyes on her phone at dinner, laughter from another room that ended the moment I entered. When I asked who it was, she smiled, a tired, polished lie. A client. That word became her shield. A client on weekends, a client on trips, a client who texted her good night. I didn't argue, I simply listened, to the pauses, to the silence that filled the bed between us. You learn a lot when you stop demanding truth and start watching it. One night, her phone lit up while she showered. The message preview said, "Can't wait to see you again." The contact name was Laura, except the sender signed it D. She came out wrapped in steam and perfume. I was calm, distant. I kissed her forehead like I was already gone. That's when I decided to play her game better than she could. I started documenting everything, quietly, dates, calls, trips. I copied her messages when she forgot to lock her phone, screenshots, receipts, photos that didn't belong to me, but neither did she anymore. She'd come home smelling like someone else. I never asked. I wanted her to believe I was blind, because blindness makes people careless. She started calling him in the car. I recorded her voice. Words like us and freedom and soon. That word, soon, is always the prelude to betrayal. I met with my attorney the next morning. I didn't tell him much, just asked him to draw up the papers and file them quietly. He asked if I was sure. I told him, "I've never been more awake." The nights grew quieter. She stopped saying goodnight altogether. But I didn't feel hurt anymore. Only clarity. Cold, precise, almost mathematical clarity. I knew exactly how the story would end, and I'd make sure it ended beautifully. A week before brunch, she left her laptop open. It wasn't luck. It was arrogance. There it was, her private messages. Not to a lover, but to her best friend. He's boring now, predictable. I'm done pretending. I'm waiting until after my birthday. He owes me that trip. Then I'll tell him it's over. The truth didn't hurt. It confirmed what I already knew. She didn't want me. She wanted the convenience of being wanted. So I gave her exactly what she deserved. That morning before brunch, I went to the courthouse, signed the papers, finalized the end she thought she controlled. No arguments, no confrontation, just silence and ink. At brunch, her performance was flawless. Her friends adored her, laughing, touching her arm, repeating that word, freedom. When she said marriage was just a piece of paper, she looked straight at me, testing, provoking, waiting for the man who used to beg her to love him. He was dead. So I reached into my jacket and placed the paper on the table. A quiet slide. A final act. "Signed it this morning," I said. "You're right. It means nothing." For a second, she didn't breathe. Her friends leaned forward, confused. Then they saw the header, "Final Decree of Divorce." The air shifted. Her fingers trembled. She reached for it, but couldn't touch it. Her eyes flicked up, pleading for a softness that no longer existed in me. There was none. I stood, left enough cash for the bill, and walked out. She called that night, dozens of times. I didn't answer. When she finally stopped, I poured a drink and stared at the papers. The one she claimed meant nothing. Funny thing about paper, it burns fast, but the ashes linger. I didn't hate her. You can't hate something that's already dead. What I felt was quieter, like standing in the aftermath of a storm you'd predicted. They say revenge should be loud, dramatic, but the most satisfying kind is silent, paper-thin, signed in ink. Because sometimes the cruelest thing you can do to someone who wanted control is hand them the freedom they never deserved and walk away without looking back. In the end, she was right. Marriage is just a piece of paper. So is divorce. Only one of them has my signature.